Hi. Hi, Dan. How's it going? It doesn't even tell me there's anyone here, but it says then I got a message. Artie's there. Hi, lethargy. Hi, lethargy. Cherry blossoms. Look. It's quite early, isn't it? Is that... Well, that's no cherry blossoms. I'm talking rubbish. Is it? Hey, Trish. It says there's 9 people watching now. Oh, look. He's got a Santa hat on the day. There's another Gorman statue, look. Tish. He's got somebody's been painting his nipples and his private parts, look. Whoa. You can see him. Look, Santa's got his hat on. Hey, Nicky. How's it going, everybody? Whoa. Barbie, Anne, Agatha. Who else? Martin. Barbie. It looks... I can't scroll back anymore. What's happening with this, man? There we go. Oh. It's going to be one of the days, I think, today. Beautiful day here today, everyone. Have you worked out where I am yet? Look. Does anyone know where I am? Have a guess. Oh, he's got a Christmas tree stuck behind him as well. Sarah, how's everyone doing? It's no windy here, it's blowing a gale in Cardenden. Is it? It's blowing a gale, it's blowing a hoolie, as they say. Blowing a hoolie. They say in Scots. How's everyone doing today? Happy leap day year. What's it called? Do we have any leaplands here? Do we have anybody who was born on a leap year? To here. Arte. How's life today, everyone? Anyone? Trish, you were born on a leap year? So you're only about 12 then? Leith. Is this technically Leith? I'm not actually sure if this technically is Leith. Probably must be. I think we're still in Leith. Anyway. Oh, women can propose today as well, that's right. Yeah, form an orderly queue, everyone. It's leap day year or whatever it's called. So yeah, ladies can propose to men. Seemingly I read a report this morning that 1 in 6 ladies in Scotland are going to propose to their man tonight. I'm waiting for my realtor to get back to me to see a home. Oh, exciting times, fingers crossed for you. Hopefully you'll get that. We've got all the construction work going on everywhere. All the house building. There's houses getting built everywhere. I'll be getting offers. I don't know about that, man. I've got a face like a well-scalped arse. I've got a face only a mother could love. I've got a face... what's it? I've got a face for the radio. I've got a good face for the radio. That's what my mum used to say to me. When did the leap tree? Well, in Scotland, seemingly it goes back to the 13th century. In Scotland, the 13th century, I think it was. 12:05 or something like that. But look at, see this building here directly in front of us. Well, obviously they're building houses here. Everywhere you go, that's where they're building houses. But there it is, wee Gormley statue. Hello, Gormley. So obviously the water's quite shallow here at points because his nipples have been painted green. Look, hello. Yeah, I think there's 6 of them in the water of Leith, and then there's one that finishes in Leith Docks at the Ocean Terminal. I think I've showed you it before actually. But obviously there's a Christmas tree stuck behind it. Obviously it's acting like a dam. So I only found out you could zoom in the other day. I didn't know you could zoom in on this app. It's quite awkward to do, you've got to pinch your fingers and keep the gimbal steady at the same time. So yeah, if there's any rich ladies out there, especially if your dad owns a pub, any ladies who dads own a pub, I'm willing to take proposals. Very rich ladies out there, anyone looking to look after her, I'm looking for a sugar mummy. Is that what it's called, a sugar mummy? I know it's a sugar daddy. I don't know if you get such a thing as a sugar mummy. Hey Don, Fran, how's it going? Happy Leap Day year, or whatever it's called. Leap Year Day. I keep on getting the day and the year moved the wrong way around. Yeah, this building here used to be a whiskey distillery and whiskey bond. My dad was unemployed for most of his life, but he managed to get a job as a night watchman through one of his friends. And they used to steal the whiskey before it went into the barrel, right? So before whiskey goes into the barrel, it's just clear like vodka, you know? And it's 140% proof. And it goes down to at least, well, minimum is 40%. But so the guys in the whiskey would steal the whiskey before it went into the barrels. 140% proof. Sugar mama. Hi, Suzanne. I'm actually just acting. I've almost been bedbound for 2 days. Yeah, I've not been feeling too good recently. But anyway, such is life, you know. Look at this, I just noticed this wee shop opened. I had to look up what Caboa means as well. Mahogany. A Mexican shop. Look, pretty cool stuff they sell, man. 140% proof. They used to steal it before it went into the barrel. So at the age of 12, me and my friends used to steal my dad's whiskey. And we were drinking 140% proof whiskey at the age of 12. Isn't that amazing? No wonder we're all alcoholics in Scotland. Look at that beautiful mirror. Hey Suzanne, do you like that mirror? Look at that, isn't that beautiful? With the tiles on it. Tiles for sale, 50p. Some of them are slightly chipped. Look, 50p. That's quite a cool one with a cacti on it. You know? So it's all Mexican stuff. Mexican ceramics, tiles, plants, candles, incense, cards, salsa and chilies. Oh, look at that. Roast ghost pepper hot sauce. Whoa. That'll be, I'm assuming that'll be hot. Look at that one. Habanero and grilled pineapple. Hot sauce. Oh, that sounds quite intriguing. Look at that stuff. Refried pinto beans and all that. There it is, the first time I've seen this shop actually. Beautiful mirror that, isn't it? Fridge magnets. Let's see if I can go in. Look at this. Hopefully I won't lose the signal. Look, we've got a big pile of them there. £200 for the mirror. Beautiful, eh? That's a big mirror. 110 for the smaller ones. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I'm really impressed with this shop, by the way. Pretty cool. Look at Suzanne, there's your next task. Look at this stuff here. Suzanne does pottery, by the way. She makes cups and stuff like that. I'm just showing off your beautiful stuff. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just doing a tour and noticed your shop and thought, wow, this is beautiful stuff. Lovely stuff, isn't it? Look at the bowls and all that as well. Yeah, so if you come to Edinburgh, everyone, get yourself down to Leith. Look at the lampshades as well. Aren't they beautiful? I'm going to come back here myself and get some stuff for my house, I think. Beautiful stuff, and the tiles as well. Wow. Storage jars. I do like some of the cups and the bowls. Hopefully the signals stay under the cream. I do like the lampshades. Pretty cool. That's what I look like just now. And lots of food stuff at the back as well. How long have you been open, buddy?
Sorry?
How long have you been open?
A couple of years now.
Have you? I've not been along here for years, that tells you how long I've been here. Beautiful stuff, buddy. Do you import it?
Mostly a lot of it, yes,
Wow.
for my work as well.
Oh, is it? So your own work?
Some of them.
Is it? Wow. So some of it is, you've probably heard that, some of it is imported and some of it's made by the guy. Isn't that amazing? I like tequila. I like the one with this. How much are the lampshades, buddy? £35. Yeah. That's not bad, £35. £35 for the lampshades. Pretty cool, eh? Yeah. Well, look, here's more stuff up here. Look at the lizards. Wow. Quite reasonably priced, actually. That big lizard there's only £36. That's pretty reasonably priced, isn't it? I take it you've got a website, buddy, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll show you a website address, everyone. Look at the mothers. I might come back for the mothers, actually. They're stunning. Look at this, I'll show you. As you know, I like Spanish stuff, so Mexican, you know, Spanish. So it's Caboa. Caboa.co.uk. Pretty funky stuff, like, I must admit. Yeah, I didn't even know this. I've not been along here for a couple of years. This is all changed here. This is all industrial down here. It's still a little bit industrial here, but it's all been converted. All the old factories and warehouses have been sold off. The housing developers have moved in, but all the houses they're building, they just look like cubes. I don't like these new houses they're building. So it's still got that. That'll be land. That'll be sold off soon. Look at the size of that factory there. The land will be worth probably 10 million quid. Build a couple of 100 houses. You know what I mean? But this was all industrial here. Yeah, this was the whisky bond here. Leith was, there used to be nearly 100 whisky distilleries and bonded warehouses in Leith in the 1800s. Leith was considered the whisky capital of Scotland. And I've got a bag as well, Caboa bag, the tote bag. Pretty cool stuff, but I must admit. Or on Instagram as well, Facebook. And I've got another shop in Stockbridge. Wow. I don't know what he's been open for 2 years. It must be successful. Because to be honest, the footfall round about here is not the best, but I'm assuming he's opened up with the intention of selling all this produce to the people who are moving into all these new houses that are getting built, you know what I mean? And I say, because these houses are just new the last few years. Sort of the last 5 years this area got all developed. Well, this had been developed before. This side had been developed, turned into apartments and houses, and lay derelict for decades. Like a lot of Leith, you know, when it suffered from economic decline in the 1980s, a lot of the whisky moved out to West Lothian. A new town opened up called Livingston, in an area called West Lothian. and they got funding. You know, they got made into like an economic zone, something like that. You know, businesses were given incentives to move there and employ people. So all the whisky distilleries and bonded warehouses moved out of Leith. Leith was decimated. A lot of the places lay derelict for years. I thought they would have knocked this building down, to be honest. Hi, Cheryl. How's life? They're saying this used to be a whisky bond here. My dad used to steal the whisky at 140% proof, which I used to drink. I used to steal it when I was 12. You had to water it down. You couldn't drink straight whisky at 140% proof, you'd be dead. You had to water it down, but that's how we could steal it. Because they kept it in a decanter, right? My dad kept the whisky in a decanter, which was clear. And then, of course, when his pals came up, they had to put water into it. So we used to steal it and fill it back up with water. Because it was 140% proof, the chances of getting caught were, you know, pretty low. Aye. And then we moved on to sherry. We started drinking sherry. And do you know what we would do? When we were like 13, 14, we'd buy a bottle of sherry. Sherry is disgusting. But to get a hit, it was cheap. So we get a hit, we'd drink the whole bottle of sherry in one drink. Or you try to, you know, you try and drink the whole bottle in one drink to get drunk. See the things you do when you're young, and things just come back to you when you're reminiscing. But look at these little houses. These ones are not too bad. They're what you call like colony houses. So they've got solar panels on the roof as well, look. See, these are a little bit better, but I don't know if I mean, the only good thing you can say about these houses is you get a balcony. But they just look like cubes to me, you know, there's no redeeming features. They're just horrible looking, in my opinion, to be fair. I would never buy a new house. Never in a million years would I buy a new house. The building standards nowadays are atrocious. I would always buy an old house. So this walkway is quite new as well. Remember I was doing my tour in Stockbridge, the Dean Village, and I stopped in Stockbridge. Well, if you just keep on walking that way. Who's that? Lisa! Ronnie! Hi everyone! Mark, our Edinburgh hospital's busy on a Friday night. Oh aye. Yeah. The worst time to get injured. The worst time to visit hospitals on a Friday or a Saturday night. You don't want to go to A&E on a Saturday night or a Friday night, that's for sure. Yeah, so Stockbridge, if you keep on walking along here, you follow this path, you'll end up in Stockbridge. You look like a prison block. Yeah, they're not, as I say, I don't think they're nice at all. They built houses here, this was all industrial years ago. Well, everything, they've got to bear in mind, this is the water of Leith. You know, we're passing by the water of Leith here, obviously. And it would have been all mills. It would have been paper mills and flour mills, like from Dean Village all the way down to Leith. Paper mills and flour mills were the main ones. So again, these are all brand new. Again, just like blocks, don't they? Horrible. And these will be about 300 grand or something like that. Can you believe it? About 300 grand. Horrible. In fact, I'll just quickly show you these houses here. They built these houses, these are council, what you call social housing. So these houses here, it's a place called the Quilts. So these houses here, this was all derelict, this was waste ground up until the 1980s. And then social housing moved in, bought the land, and they built these houses. They're called the Quilts. Now, they're pretty ugly looking. I mean, the stone, the finishing's horrible. They could have done a better job. But look how much nicer they are to live in. You get a garden upstairs, downstairs. Some people have got a drive. Some people have got really nice gardens. And that's social housing. So they're they're not nice looking, but better to live in than these horrible things. I mean, up there you'll get a good view. But you've got no balcony. You can open up your doors to get fresh air, but yeah, I wouldn't be buying a new house anyway, that's for sure. That'd be an old stone house. So it's beautiful weather today. The weather forecast, we're actually supposed to get snow in parts of Scotland today, I was hearing this morning. Yeah, some parts of Scotland are getting snow, I heard. I was like, what? It's been a beautiful morning here. It did cloud over a little bit, but it's been a beautiful sunny morning here. Aye, the wood pigeon. Who's that? Laurie, I've got you live from Canada. Woohoo! Full moons bring out the crazy people. Oh yeah, that's been proven. See, in Glasgow, the police in Glasgow years ago, when it was the old Strathclyde police, there's been a murder. They actually used to put on extra police officers, and the hospital would hire extra staff on a full moon weekend, because yeah, it definitely does. It sends people doolally, as we say in Scotland. It sends people crazy. The full moon. You're getting snow, are you, Suzanne? Wow. Some folks don't want a garden. I would love a garden. Yeah, Laurie, thanks very much for coming from Canada. We've got some other people from Canada as well. Got Barbie from Nova Scotia. Nothing else is here. Like Soviet, yeah, like communist blocks, aren't they? But as I say, these ones over here, the social housing ones, these are actually quite nice. These are actually quite nice. So nobody answered the question. So nobody here. Obviously, it's the 29th of February today. It's the day that ladies can propose to men. I actually watched a clip on the line this morning from 1973 in Northern Ireland, and they were asking, the BBC reporter was asking the ladies in a factory if anyone was proposing, and the reporter kept on asking them, you know, anyone going to be asking their man tonight, blah, 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 and some ladies were saying yes, and the reporter would say to them, so what are you going to say to them? And the ladies just responded, I'm going to ask them to marry me. What do you think they're going to ask them? What a stupid question for the reporter to ask. What are you going to ask them when you propose? Aye. Feeling better? I had to drag myself out of bed, to be honest, but anyway, it's a different story. Suzanne's got more land than King Charles now, and he's one of the biggest landowners in the world. If he's not the biggest landowner in the world. Suzanne's got an amazing garden, by the way. She's got big tractors and all that. Get the duck, all these different hens and ducks here. I used to fish down here when I was a wee kid. Used to be these little wee catfish things. Get away, you rat. Look at the wee duck. Maybe come to that time he's looking for a mate. By the way, do you know what I heard the other day there? If you ever see, you know how it's supposed to be bad luck to see a single magpie? I mean, I don't believe in these suspicions anyway. Get away, you rats. Traditions. What was I keep on forgetting what I'm talking about, man. They'll come back to me. You can actually see a remnant of the old mill, one of the mills here, see here. This is like an old winch. We used to play here when we were kids. This is like all, there must have been some factory here or some building that had been demolished. Oh. So when we were kids, this is our stomping ground when we were kids. I grew up like 10 minutes from here, and this is where we hang about, up here. So it's quite weird. Oh aye, the single magpie, that was it, thanks Dan. Aye, if you see a single magpie, it's supposed to be bad luck. And I heard the other day there, I don't know if it's true, that the lady said it's bad luck because it's because most birds are, is it monogamous? Or what's the word when they stay together for life? Is that the word? So if you see a magpie on its own, it's lost its partner. But I don't know if that's always true. Its partner might be sitting on eggs or something, no? Aye, thanks, Sarah. I remembered eventually. Yes, I don't know if that's true about the single magpie, that it's lost its partner. Anyone know if that's true? I did hear it the other day there, but I'm not sure. We used to When this used to freeze over in the winter, we used to skate on here when we were kids. We used to slide here. When the river froze up, or the water of Leith as it's called, it used to freeze over in the winter. And we'd all slide in it, all the geese. Oh, must be thinking they're getting food, look. Food! At least the seagulls aren't here. There's only a couple of seagulls, that's unusual. Aye, so basically, Laurie, if you just keep on walking this way, you'll end up in Stockbridge. You know? Get that wee thing. You have to, unfortunately, you have to divert off the path. Just because of the layout of the path, you can't walk all the way. You can walk most of it. Hello, Gadget, it looks like Super Mario on acid. In fact, it is Super Mario. Look, it is Super Mario. The partner might be shopping. I heard you salute it for good luck. Is that right? I've not heard that one. I'm not really a superstitious person. More of an OCD type person, you know. Some graffiti's nice, isn't it? I do like some graffiti artists. Some of it's really good, what they do. But anyway, I mean, it's the ones that come up and vandalise it. I don't understand why you would vandalise somebody else's work, you know. Like this dude here with the tag. Why would you do that? Is it rivals? Rival graffiti artists. No, back down to Leith, Laurie. So I've done this. Look at all the. Quite a lot of them. As I say, my ornithological skills are not the best. Different types of hens, ducks. I was a mental health nurse. Yeah, good luck diagnosing me, pal. I remember when I was wee, my next door neighbour, this was, as I said, this was all industrial over here when I was a kid. That was all like scrapyards and little garages. There was a scrapyard across there. And one of my next door neighbours had a bit of land and he used to get mussels. He used to catch mussels and cook them over there. I used to go in to cook mussels. This is obviously filling the old train line. The train used to come along here. So they turned it into a path. Once the trains went away, they turned it into a walkway, which is quite good. So they are talking about putting a new tram extension. You know how the trams came down to Leith, the new tram? They're talking about extending it again. But they're going to, in fact, I'm going to show you something actually. I'm just going to take a wee detour and show you something. You don't normally see this part of Leith on a tour. You know, a tour of Leith is usually in the shore area. But I'm just going to show you a slightly different part of Leith. As I say, this is where I grew up. This area here. I remember when I was a young kid, I can't remember what age I was. In fact, it was roughly about here. It was at night. I don't know what I was doing, but I was over here somewhere. And a big rat, a water rat, came out. Now, when I was a young kid, the water rat looked the size of a small dog. Well, I don't know who was more terrified, me or the rat. We both ran off in different directions. In fact, I've just remembered some sad things here. This is a park. It's called Keddy Park. I used to skip school when I was a kid. You know, high school, I used to skip school. And I remember being in here once. There used to be benches over there. And I sat on a bench, right? And this old guy came and sat beside me. started talking to me. I didn't realise he was a paedophile. No bugger. I was about 13. Yeah, old paedophile try, you know, talk to me and all that. Get me to go with him. Old pervert. This actually here, see this area here? This actually got bombed. This bit here, this got bombed in World War II by the Nazis. Leith got bombed a few times actually. There's a church along there. North Leith Parish Church. Church there. This is North Leith we're in. Back in the olden days, Leith was split into two main areas. They were separate parishes. So South Leith on the other side of the river is called South Leith, and this is called North Leith. So Leith merged with Edinburgh in 1920, okay? When I say merged, we were taken over by Edinburgh. Leith was a separate borough from 1833 until 1920. Edinburgh was expanding, and the people of Leith were given a referendum. Do you want to merge with Edinburgh? And the people of Leith rejected the merger by 5-1 against. 5-1 against the merger. Edinburgh just ignored the votes and took over Leith. And some people of Leith have never forgiven them. They gave us a couple of sweeteners. So you see the library here? This is the public library. So they gave us a library. They built a library for us. And just behind the library, if that will go straight, just behind the library is the Leith Theatre. Okay, so these were built after 1920 as a kind of sweetener. You used to be able to get married here. There used to be a register here. This bit here is where you used to get married. Here, excuse the finger. This is where you got married in there. And you could have your wedding in the function hall. Ah, look at the old car. The old Volkswagen. It's like a Volkswagen Passat or something, isn't it? Yeah, so this is the Leith Theatre. So this was given to Leith as a sweetener. You can't really get good views of it. I never skipped school my whole life. I only went to high school for 2 years. I was a Ned. What do you call a Ned? In fact, there's a Scottish movie called Neds. N-E-D-S. Neds. It means non-educated delinquent. Well, I was a Ned when I was a teenager. I left school at 16, and 3 months later I was in prison. 3 months and I was in prison. I got beaten up by the prison doctor, a prison officer, and a prisoner. It was the worst time of my life. But it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I had such a traumatic experience. I never went back to jail. I skipped school if it was for PE. A lot of girls did. A lot of girls did. Oh, look. So this town hall and library, Leith Town Hall and Library, this stone was laid by the Right Honourable, I don't know if you were Honourable, pal, Sir Alexander Stevenson, Lord Provost in 1929, 11th of October. So there you go, that's what we got for getting taken over by Edinburgh. But I just wanted to show you this mural actually. Here. In fact, let's see what it says in this information panel here. Leith Fort, here we go. A bit of information for you. John Paul Jones, the American, well, the Scottish-American guy. He demanded that the vast sum of £200,000 or he would destroy Leith. And so they built a fort after John Paul Jones. It was during the Wars of Independence. He was a Scottish guy, but obviously he set up the US Navy, John Paul Jones. and he sailed into the Forth and tried to bomb us. Allegedly, there is a story on the other side of the water is a place called Kirkcaldy, and a minister saw there was, I think it was about 3 ships sailed in, and the minister, a local Church of Scotland minister, saw the 3 ships coming in to bomb Edinburgh, and he gathered as many of his parishioners as possible, and they all went down to the beach, and they all prayed to God for a storm, and lo and behold, a storm came in and blew John Paul Jones' ships away, allegedly. But look at this. This is a mural. I think it was done in the 1980s. It's like, this is what we call a gable end. Obviously there was houses here at some point, they've knocked them down. So, look at this, but it's stayed in place. So this was all done in the 1980s. Look, it's just all about life and Leith, that bit's almost all gone. There was talks about renewing it. So this is all different parts of Leith history. So you've got the Leith Hospital, the Leith Gala going on there, you've got the Boys Brigade. So in June, you've got the Leith Gala. I'll be doing a tour, I'll be doing some tours from Leith Gala. And this is just a nod to the Leith history. So then when the fort was built for John Paul Jones, the army became an army barracks. Again, it closed in the 1950s. There's still parts of it left, the fort, just the walls, and some of the barracks are left, so that's just a nod to the army. This is a nod to the shipbuilding history of Leith. As you can see, the workers that occupied the yard. Leith has got a shipbuilding history of 600 years. And of course that was all ended in 1983-84 when Margaret Thatcher closed down the shipyards, unfortunately. The men occupied the yard. It was called Henry Rob's. And this here is about the new people moving into Leith. You see this one here? It's about the new people moving in and the changes, turning into the wine bars and all that. It's went from being like a sex district. Leith was the prostitution tolerance zone. Then of course we got lots of Singhs, lots of Sikhs come in the 1950s. And ever since, so we've got lots of Sikhs, lots of Muslims and Hindus as well here. Again, you can see some of the panel, some of the people in the past. You can see it's getting faded now. So there is plans about renewing it. But a lovely mural. It was freshened up a bit a few years ago, and there was talks of doing something with it, but I don't think it, well, obviously nothing's come to fruition yet, but look, it's just badly damaged up there, you know, it's almost fading away. Yeah. Bit of a shame actually. So again, it's a look at the Leafs history. I'm surprised they've not got the horse racing up, because Leith used to have the Leith races, used to be very popular with the Leith Sands. Leith's actually got a couple of beaches, believe it or not. Yeah, we've got a couple of beaches in Leith. Most of them are inaccessible because of the docks taking over. I remember the guy from the Leith Festival, the Leith Market. I remember he's got a stall, Quirkies. He's got a shop there as well. Let's get back down to the water. But yeah, Leith's got such a varied history. Because it was the main port for Scotland for a long time. Before the invention of trains, of course. People used to travel everywhere by boat. So Leith has played a very important part in the history of Scotland. Anyone from Robert the Bruce, Bonnie Prince Charlie, most of the Stuart Kings. Oh, is that closed off down there? Yeah, they're building, so this part's closed off just now. Perth, I put your hand into Perth preserved. Hopefully they'll do something. They're turning this into a skate park or something down here. So it's closed off. So this is, the street I'm on is actually called Coburg Street. And anyone who knows anything, Coburg, C-O-B-U-R-G. And anyone who knows anything about the British royal family will know that was their name. Saxe Coburg, Gotha. The royal family were Germans, of course. Queen Victoria was half German, Prince Albert was German, all the Hanoverians were German. And this street I thought was named after Queen Victoria, because Queen Victoria came to Leith in 1842, but it was actually named after her uncle Leopold. He actually visited Edinburgh before Queen Victoria, I think in the 1920s. C-O-B-U-R-G actually it's spelled. I was telling lies. Is that how I spell it? C-O-B-U-R-G. So this is a little Greek restaurant here. I don't know if it's still open. It's kind of, there was a restaurant open before, it's kind of flopped. Look, Cafe Non. Cafe Non. Look. Oh, you see that word? What is my favourite shop in Leith? I don't know, tell me about it. So you've got a little Greek place. Closed Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, only opens Wednesday and Thursday at 5 o'clock till 10. Friday 12 o'clock till 3, and then 5 till 10. Saturday and Sunday it's open more. But I've not been in it yet, it's all Greek stuff. Haratiko Pasomi, Gigantes, Cherusilla. Yeah, I'll need to try that one day. It looks quite nice. This used to be a tea factory called Melrose's here. It got converted into housing again in the 1980s, 1990s. This used to be in fact there's my house, look. Hello house. The Lego block they call it. Do you understand why they call it the Lego block? It looks like your Lego blocks. Yellow and blue panels. They used to be concrete. It was built in the middle of the 1960s. In the 1980s they put the cladding around it because the houses were so cold. And people started calling them the Lego blocks because they look like blocks of Lego. So, as I said, you can walk along a lot of the path. It's obviously a shared path for the cyclists as well. So yeah, you can walk along a good part of the river. But the bit from Stockbridge to Leith is actually quite awkward because you have to come off a couple of bits and it's not well signposted, to be honest. It's not very well signposted. So look, it's closed off here. It's closed off for ages, building a skate park or something. Coley Park improvement. I think it's some kind of skate park or something. A beautiful day, look at the weather. It's almost like it was the summertime. I think it's about 10 degrees Celsius, 45 Fahrenheit, something like that. It's quite nice in the sun. It's quite nice. Yeah. The big bird feeders here, loads of rats here. Look, there's a rat there. Look, see the rat? It's not a water rat, it just ran back in its burrow. Yeah, there's I don't know what you call it, is it a nest of ants? I'm not sure, but because people have put bird feeders up, obviously when the birds try and get the seeds, the food will fall and then all the rats go and get it. The rats come out, horrible, horrible rats. But they're not water rats, they ones. Water rats are bigger black things, man. Yeah, I'm not too keen on rats or mice. Sunshine on Leith. Sunshine on Leith. I'll thank him for his work and your birth and my birth. Yeah, that's another Scottish movie to watch, by the way. Sunshine on Leith is a musical, obviously based on the Proclaimer songs. Musicals are not my cup of tea. One of the best, if you haven't watched this movie, get a pen and a piece of paper. One of my favourite Scottish movies is Restless Natives. Restless Natives. It's partly set in Edinburgh, and it's about two guys on a motorbike, and they start robbing tour buses. And then one of the guys falls in love with one of the tour leaders on the coach. So if you haven't seen Restless Natives, I recommend that. Another one, as I said earlier, is Ned's. N-E-D-S, Ned's. Angel Share. That's another good Scottish movie, Angel Share. And that's about the whisky evaporations. Some young guys try and go up the plan to steal an expensive bottle of whiskey. Gregory's Girl is another one. Gregory's Girl. Shallow Grave. Train Spotting. Any other Scottish movies? Rats are cute. Ugh. Oh no, I don't like rats. Emma Braidesby, who used to come on my tour, she's got rats. She's got pet rats. But yeah, no, rats are not for me. I don't like too many animals. I like animals, right? But I don't like being, like, I don't like, you know how people have got lizards and snakes, tarantulas, nah, birds, nah. The only pets I like in the house is a cat or a dog. You can keep any other things. I'm not wanting them. It's not for me. I don't mind people that have got them. If you want to have a rat in your house, on you go, have a rat. But yeah, it's not for me, like. Brambles here as well. Oh, there was a house up for sale up there. Can't see a sign, so it must have been sold. There was a house up for sale there. I think it was about 335 grand. But again, I mean, the only redeeming feature you've got about that is your view and a balcony. But they're not very nice looking, are they? There's lots of different styles of architecture in Leith. It's a bit of a mismatch. And these here, you know, I mean, what's that? Gregory's Girl. Yeah, it was filmed in, was it Cumbernauld it was filmed in, Diane? Was it Cumbernauld? Again, 1980s it was, very iconic Scottish movie, Gregory's Girl. Local Hero, of course, is another one. Local Hero, if you haven't seen that. Obviously, I would say Train Spotting. Train Spotting 2 is filmed in Leith. Train Spotting is set in Edinburgh and Leith, but it's not filmed here. It was filmed mostly in Glasgow. So I've got some Train Spotting tours this weekend. I've got some bookings. I've got bookings trickling in through my website and through TripAdvisor and so on. Yeah, so I've got a few bookings coming in, but I need more. Oh, and I told the American company, I made a big decision yesterday. I told the American company I'm not doing 2-week tours anymore. Well, it says this year, so I'm going to take a year out from doing 2-week tours. So I told them that yesterday, so I've not heard back from them yet, so I'm a bit concerned. But anyway, let's see. I think I've maybe, I don't know if I've made a mistake by doing that, you know. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, everyone. Cumbernauld. Was it Cumbernauld? Wasn't there a film with Angus in the title? Angus. Obviously you've got Rob Roy McGregor, Braveheart. One of my favourite Scottish movies is in fact a movie called Highlander. You know Highlander? If you haven't seen Highlander, you must watch it. It's hilarious. Highlander is a fantastic Scottish movie. Sean Connery plays a Spaniard in it. And an American guy plays a Scot. It's hilarious. There can be only one. Obviously there's a TV series as well, but the movie was fantastic. In fact, I'm sure I was reading they're going to make a remake of the Highlander. Or a new one, a new Highlander's coming out. Did anyone else hear that? Yeah, I heard that the other day. I don't know if it's true. I might have just dreamt it. You know how sometimes you dream things and you think they're real? Well, Highlander, yeah, Highlander's a great movie. There is a new Highlander being made. I thought I must have seen something. Is that right? It's getting made just now. It'll not be anything like the original. The soundtrack for Highlander, right, to make it even better, the soundtrack for Highlander is all Queen songs. It's just so cheesy, it's brilliant, you know. It's just one of the films that's so bad, they're good. You know the type. I think one of the worst movies I ever watched was The Hulk. Remember The Hulk? That was one of the worst movies I'd ever seen in my entire life. Like an hour and a half of my life I will never get back. Oh, it was horrible. Horrendous movie. Hulk. So don't watch that. Outlander series, Christopher Lambert, yeah, that's right. Outlander series, like that, Fran? I watched series 1 and 2, and I started watching series 3, but Bonnie Prince Charlie annoyed me. He really annoyed me, so I couldn't watch it anymore. So I remember, I was doing a tour here last week, and this was the cooperage. This used to be a dry dock here, see where this grass is? This is where the ships would come in to get repaired and all that. And we could load off their whiskey and stuff, or load it up with barrels. So look, just to show you what it's like at the entrance, it was a whiskey barrel making place called a cooperage, and that was one of the first buildings to get converted into housing. Look, cooperage. The old winch is still there as well. Look, there's been a murder. It gets better. Ah yeah, I was going to do a new tour, everyone. What do you think of this new tour? So I'm going to call the tour There's Been a Murder. And I'll talk about murders. Obviously it's a famous Scottish detective called Taggart. He used to say, there's been a murder. So I was going to do a new tour called There's Been a Murder. The whiskey barrels outside is a nod to the cooperage, you see. Isla Jura, Tamnavulin, Glenlivet's obviously a famous one. I don't like Glenlivet because it's got a hint of marzipan. I bought a bottle of Glenlivet last year for my tour groups, and there was something in it. I didn't like, and when I read the descriptions and it said, yeah, it's got marzipan, and I could tell it had marzipan in it because I didn't like it. I mean, it was okay, but it was just that something I didn't like, and that's what it was, marzipan. And the Scotch, it came right through. Taggart is watching. You're watching Taggart on BritBox. Oh yeah, if you can get BritBox, by the way, if you can get BritBox, sometimes you can get a month's free subscription for BritBox, and you can watch all the British or Scottish crime programmes and so on BritBox. I got it as part of a package once, and it was quite good, but again, all the old winches here. Marzipan, I can't stand marzipan for some reason. Don't know what it is, I just can't, you know, there's just some people just don't like coriander. I'm like that way, I'm like that way, tuna, as the Americans call it, tuna. The little winch there as well. These are all one-bedroom apartments. So when Leith was decimated, this is one of the first buildings that was built, reconverted into apartments. They copied it from Manhattan. You know, when Manhattan started making all the loft-style conversions, they started converting all the apartments. It's very Dutch-looking. Gable ends again. Lethargy. You have an old whiskey barrel that I use as a garden table. Oh, very nice. I was rewatching Grange Hill. Was Grange Hill on BritBox, was it? Grange Hill, everyone, is a kids' TV programme based in a school. It launched the careers of many actors, actually, Grange Hill, didn't it? A few of them went into EastEnders and all that. Grange Hill. I didn't know that was on BritBox, right enough. Grange Hill, yeah, I used to watch that as well, I think. Just Say No. Remember the Just Say No drugs campaign they had in the 1980s? It actually had the opposite effect. they launched this big campaign, Just Say No, right? You know, it's just say no to drugs. Actually, at the end of the campaign, more people had started taking drugs than there was before they started the campaign. Idiots, man. Just say no. That didn't work. But I didn't know that was on BitBox. I don't think I actually watched much of it, to be honest. Oh. So that's us in the shore area of Leith now. I watched Grange Hill from episode 1 on YouTube. Is it on YouTube, is it? Ugh, this person's smoking a cigar, man. If there's one smell in life I can't stand, is cigar smoke. Or pipe, you know, pipes. Ugh. Gee whiz. Zamo. Was he not addicted to drugs or something? Zamo. What was the wee chunky guy's name as well? The wee chunky guy. Rory, was it Rory? Can't remember. I'm going for lunch on Sunday with my son, Dean, and his fiancée Ariel. His fiancée Amy, and their daughter Ariel, my granddaughter, and mother son Jamie. I've only seen him once since Christmas. I managed to persuade him to come along as well. So allegedly, I'm going for Sunday lunch there in the King's Walk on Sunday with my two sons. They both got different mothers, unfortunately. Jamie was a product of my marriage, shall we say. He's 22. Roland, that was it, Roland. Rolly, aye. Rolly. See, there's so many Grange Hill fans on here, isn't there? I can't believe I've got so many Grange Hill fans. Who'd have known? It was pretty much an iconic kids' TV programme, right enough. I remember a football one called Jossie's Giants. Jossie's Giants. Suzanne, I don't know if you're still there. Suzanne, so this year, I know you live in New York State, but this used to be a down market nightclub called the Manhattan. See the place, the Granary? There used to be a down market nightclub called the Manhattan. And I went to it once, right? This is in the 1980s, or late 1980s. And I asked a girl to dance. She had to, back in the late 80s and early 90s, well, up until then, guys could not dance on the dance floor on their own or with their friends because you get called gay. So the only way you could get allowed to dance when you were young was to ask a girl up to dance, right? Bizarre. And so I asked a girl to dance, and she threatened to stab me. She threatened to stab me because I asked her up to dance. I'm like, gee whiz, I know I'm not that good looking, but threatening to stab me for asking you to dance. So needless to say, I didn't go back to the Manhattan. It's now a casual dining place called the Granary, as you can see. The Paper Lads. I don't remember the Paper Lads. Was that 1980s? The Paper Lads? I can't remember that. Oh, Supergram was great. Stand back, Iceman, Superman, Robin Hood, or what was it called again? We can cause a ruckus with B.A. Baracus or something like that, wouldn't it? Yeah, I sometimes play that on my tour bus for the Americans. I tell them, you've got your own superheroes, Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, all the rest of it. And we've got Supergram. I'm watching on my new laptop. The graphics are crazy. Shoved on the full screen, so you have to minimise the picture for the chat. Yeah, I know the chat just isn't as good on the after Hago, you know. It was kind of. I think the chat's quite good on Facebook Live. You know, Facebook Live is quite good for chat. Yeah, I think from what I've heard back, YouTube is not the best for interacting with the chats. By the way, £300 a night. You want to stay in a hotel in Leith on a boat? £300. Might get a bit cheaper. It's called the Ocean Mist. The Ocean Mist. Rent a Ghost. Oh, I remember that. Rent a Ghost. I remember Rent a Ghost. It's one of the things you remember, isn't it, as you're going along? See, look at this shop. I've been trying to find out what the shop is. It used to be a clothes shop. See this shop here? It's called Bard. Look at the sign. I do like that sign, but isn't it funky? Murphy's Mob. That rings a bell. Murphy's Mob? Murphy's Mob. What was that about again, Don? What's Bard? What is it? It's a shop and gallery selling craft and design made in Scotland. In Celtic cultures, a bard is a travelling storyteller and champion of noble deeds. That's me. I'm a bard. Who knew, everyone? Did you know I'm a bard? Can you see my reflection in the window? Therefore, I can chat on my phone while I watch. Ah, that's pretty cool, eh? Funky chickens! Okay, everyone, I've rattled on for long enough. I've been on for an hour now. So hopefully you're up to... You're having a nice day or nice evening. I'm going to head off. I'll put up some tours for next week, okay? I might do a Facebook Live as well, Saturday. I've got some tours on, train spotting tours on Saturday and Sunday this week. So that's good, I'm looking forward to that. Murphy's Mob, yeah, rings a bell. I'm going to check that when I get home, Murphy's Mob. Thanks for that, by the way. So I hope you've enjoyed the tour today, everyone. Thank you very much for coming on my tour. If you want to leave a tip or a donation, you can do so and buy me a coffee or PayPal. If you could like this video and if you're not already, if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, that would be fantastic. That's one way to help me as well. And you can also share postcards or pictures as well and so on. There are different ways you can help, just like the usual ways. Such a pretty day. If I was here, I'd propose. Marry me, Paul. Oh, if only, Suzanne, if only. So I hope you've had a good day, or you're having a good day, a good evening. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll hopefully see some of you soon. Take care, everyone, and I'll hopefully catch up with you later.